seduce me, but I've never caught a glimpse how the others must see the faker. I'm much too fast to take that.
I spoke to my mother about it. Said, Mother, we're getting nowhere. This garage is going absolutely nowhere. You know, it has to be like other people now who've gone into buying and selling used cars and selling new cars. I think I need £1,000 so I can get started. So she said, yeah, if you want to borrow it, I'll give you it. And I gave it back, plus a black and white television as interest, as a thank you. Which she didn't expect, but she hadn't got a television, so I bought a television and it fitted for her and gave her it back. And gave her her money back as well. So I was happy and she was delighted. And she was delighted to see that, you know, what was there, really run down, awful little garage. We're taking off into a quite nice business. And I went out then and got my glasses guide. Studied that. I got to know that, and then went to auctions. You know, I learned about, you know, people going to car auctions. I went there, and I was only young, and watched what they did and how much they bid, and you know, who were the big hitters and who were the small ones. I was serving my time on my own, really, to build up a business that sold cars. We had a customer at Sticker Lane who had been a Jowett customer with my dad for years and years. And they called him Georgie White, and he lived at Horsforth, and he was a decorator. And he brought his car in for servicing. He said, interested? I said, well, depends, I've got no much, hardly any money, it's how much you want for it? I said, well, to you, Jack, I'd take £28 for it. UG 3976 with its registration number. And hand painted it, and it looked quite good when I hand painted it. Painted it blue with black wings, and people used to admire it. And I used to go like hell in it, because only a young lad. And I can remember passing everything down Booker Brow. If I went to, you know, to Morecambe and coming back, going up for a bit of a drag, up Booker Brow, coming back down, I could get my own back and all these. And I could put my foot flat on the floor and go like hell down Booker Brow, pass them all. But the brakes weren't right clever, although I realised that. So I had to be a bit careful. Well, we've run out of space on Sticker Lane from our original start, just opposite us, for a piece of spare land. So I got in touch with a customer, Gordon Nolan, who was an architect, and I brought him down to look at it. And I said, look, if you can, I'd like to build a showroom on there. I'd like to build a flat on top, because I can't afford to buy a house, have a showroom and a flat. So if I put flat on top, I'd made Vauxhall a promise when I got the main dealership that we'd move them into suitable premises. I was going down Sticker Lane one day through a week. I saw this for sale sign up on this piece of land. I thought, hell, we could just do with that. And so I took the details off it. When I got back to work, I rang the estate agent up. And that's where the Vauxhall dealership is. Then there's another lad called Jim Hall. And Jim Hall had an old Porsche 356. And he said to me, why don't you take the franchise for Porsche, Jack? Take the franchise? He said, yeah. He said, with me being involved with my 356, I know the guy in London, John Aldington, and I could arrange a meeting with him and you and me. We can go down to your 911 and see him. And John said, I said to John about it, you know what we're coming down for? He said, well, you know, it's not cheap yet, Jack. You'll have to take a demonstrator. You can have what you want. You can have a 912 or a 911. Then took me to a pub across the road from his showroom, which the family had been going to for years. One of them sausage and mash pubs. the old-fashioned pub. And he took me across there and we just had a sausage and mash or a pie or whatever it was, and shook hands, and we were post dealers. In between times, I bought this Merc 600 model, only because it belonged to the motor car dealer. He had it in his showroom, but it was only a two-car showroom. And it was a big car. And I saw it one day, I thought, looks all right now. And he didn't connect it at all. I said, how much do you want for that? Dougie. They call him Dougie Martin. I said, oh. He was about £1,500, something like that. Anyway, I bid him as usual. And he expects that. And we settled on the handshake, and I bought it. He said, tell me, what you bought it for? I said, well, the number is my initials, JCT. Oh, hell, I could have hauled that a bit more and got a bit more for it. So, well, you wouldn't have got any more. Anyway, I bought the JCT 600, and I'm going to transfer the Porsche franchise to Rawdon from Bradford. Go get a bit cluttered without sure I'm stick around. But they didn't mind in them days. They didn't mind. So we got a demonstrator, and we put JCT 600 on from the Merc. And one day my accountant says, what are you going to call it now, Jack? I said, I'll call it Tordoff Motors, same as the rest of them. He said, why do you call it JCT 600? Oh, I said, it's a bit gimmicky, isn't it? He said, everybody knows your car, knows your rally cars, JCT 600. It's a popular, if you call it, it might be, well, at the same time as he's mentioning that, the government were going on to the yellow and white number plates. So my brain ticked in and think, well, a yellow number plate with black letters, JCT 600, on the front of the building, really big, and it won't big. That will really catch you. So, and it was just a number plate, but it were all illuminated, and nothing else on it, just JCT 600 in our script. And it took off from there.